Hey Dave, what is the plan for Mitch White today?
Well, he's built up, so I think the plan is for him to go hard as he can for as long as he can, and I think our pen's in pretty good spot. So there's no kind of governor on him. So I just want him to go out there and compete.
And as you reflect on just his performance this season, what has really stood out to you about him?
I think the way he's attacked hitters. I think as far as I think young pitchers sometimes try to be too fine and with all their pitches. And so I think that this year he's really bet on the attack with the fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. And also I think his fastball command is got a couple grades better, in my opinion.
And what can you say about the offense that you've seen in this past week? It seems like there's kind of been moments of breakthrough, but then also, as you mentioned, some chasing here recently. So what has kind of stood out to you with that?
I think it's just finishing off innings. I think building innings, I think we've done a pretty good job of that, in the last, call it 5-6 games. But just finishing the inning to push a couple runs across at different points in the game. I think that we have one push, and but I think if we can continue to kind of build innings and finish innings, I think we'll be a lot more crooked numbers. But I think offensively, the process is taking good at bats. 1 through 8 has been pretty good.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
Next question's from Bill Plunkett. Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, Dave, the rotation for the next series, Urias, Bueller, Scherzer, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you had kept those three on 4 days rest, Julio could have gone today and you would have had those three lined up for San Francisco. Isn't that a big enough series that you would want to do that?
No, it's certainly going to be a big series, but I think that making sure that you take care of the guys, Julio, Walker, namely, as far as giving them an extra day to understand and appreciate what they have in store for them the rest of the season. There's still plenty of games that we got to take care of our business, and putting those two guys on the Giants, I think, I think that the thought, Bill, is to make sure that our guys are performing optimally and at optimum kind of rest and all that stuff. And we'll bet on that.
And you do it so often. Do you think of 5 days off as normal rest and not 4? 4 is almost short rest.
I don't know about that. I just think that I still think that coming off of last year, and I don't want to really go backward, but I think that, last year and understanding what guys are, taking on this year. So whenever you can kind of give them an extra day, curtail an inning here or there, it just only seems like upside. So I think, we have done that more often than probably in a normal year. So the 5 days probably seems more normal.
And they will be on 4 days rest so that you get 2 of the 3 in San Francisco, correct?
Correct.
Thanks, Dave.
You got it.
Next question is from Mike DiGiovanna. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave, are these scheduled off days for Mookie and JT?
Yep. Mookie, JT, as well as obviously the day game after night game for Will Smith.
Have you sort of figured out, or is it too early to figure out how much rest Mookie will need moving forward to best sort of,
Yeah, I figured that out. I think that the 3 on, 1 off, 3 on, 1 off, and then, we have a stretch of, I think, 13 day games in a row or consecutive games where I'll probably give him a couple of days off there. But there's going to be a point, Mike, where we're just going to run him out there every day because he's the best option, and he understands that.
Thanks.
Next one's from Eric Steven. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave. Mitch White, this is his 7th different time up in the majors this year. Same for Edwin Uceta, who was optioned. I'm just wondering, when those guys, as they get optioned, are the conversations different now than what they may have been like earlier in the season? Do they kind of sense that's coming? Do you have to say different things to them? Like, how does that kind of work?
I think a lot of the conversations, to their credit, have been it's not performance driven. It's managing the roster and what we need for that day, the days coming. So I think in that sense, they understand it and see what's sort of happened this year. Having options is part of it, and that's part of a player, the flexibility of a player, an optionable player on your roster. I think certainly the frustration of having to go up and down where you want to stick is real. And I understand that, very sympathetic towards that. But I think the main thing is that the guys that we've had up here, Eric, that have gone up and down have performed well, and are going to are helping and have helped us win a championship this year. So there's a lot of good from that.
And then I guess in spring, is that something you might have talked with guys in spring training? Say if they didn't make the team, you like, here's your role, here's what it's going to be like this season, or does that conversation even have to happen?
It does. It does. And I think that one of the first things that I address in spring training is how many players we go through in the previous year. So when you look out at a clubhouse of 57, 58 guys, there's a good percentage of those guys that are going to be playing for the big club. So we talk about that and how everyone is a part of it. So, yeah, I mean, it's not easy, Eric. I understand that. And the players, I've been in that position, but that's just the bar's high for us at with the Dodgers. And you got to perform, which those guys have, but to stick it just even tougher.
Last one's from Ron Cabner. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave, I know we've asked you a lot about AJ really since the start of July, but, with the way he's barreled the ball since then, do you feel like he's changed at all as a hitter, or do you think that's just a continuation of what was a really good year for him last year as well?
I think that AJ is just playing as good a baseball as I can remember, and this is even in his best years in Arizona. I think he is being dynamic, and I think that that's something where when he was a younger player in Arizona, stealing bases, hitting the ball to right center, hitting poolside homers and doubles, and bunting once in a while, he's getting back to that. And case in point, last night coming off the bench and takes a nice short swing and blocks the ball to right field for an RBI. Where I think in the last couple of years when he's not going well, I think that it's all or nothing, kind of pull side and chasing more. So to his credit, he's done it. He's made adjustments. And like I said, he's playing as good a baseball as I can remember.
Thank you.